If you ever feel tired, unfocused, sore, or uncomfortable while playing TSB, listen for 15 seconds. I added a full collection of items to my store that upgrade your performance in real life. Everything here was chosen because gamers actually need it. First, the hydrogen bottle. It turns normal water into antioxidant hydrogen water that boosts your energy, hydration, recovery, and mental clarity. It's one of the highest rated bottles in the US. If you grind long sessions, this is literally a stamina boost in real life. In the beginning, I was just a noob like everyone else. No skills, no plan, no idea what I was doing. I was the kind of player who would walk around looking at the animations because I thought they looked cool. Every time someone used a move that had particles or a clean effect, I stopped fighting just to stare at it. That was literally the level I was at. But one day, something happened that changed everything for me. I remember it perfectly. Someone used a Guru combo on me. Clean, perfect, completely controlled, and it got inside my head. I didn't even get mad. I was impressed. I didn't understand how it worked, but I knew I wanted to do that. I wanted to learn how to control someone in a combo like that, how to keep pressure, how to feel the rhythm of a fight. That moment is what made me curious enough to start grinding. So kill after kill, death after death, little improvement after little improvement. I slowly got better at the game without even noticing. As I kept playing, I started meeting more and more people. I made friends. Some were good, some were new like me, but every friend introduced me to another friend, and the circle kept growing. I had Discord, so whenever someone seemed cool or genuinely good at the game, I'd just add them. Some of them stayed, some disappeared, but that's how everything began to move for me socially inside TSB. One of these people was someone called Majora. This was around 2 years ago. I don't talk to him anymore, but at that time he was important because he introduced me to my first real clan I joined without really understanding how clans worked, but I ended up becoming top 2 inside that clan. We would fight together all the time. Public servers, private server trainings, clan wars, everything that clan became my daily hobby. It was the place I would go to talk, fight, laugh, and get destroyed. From time to time, we'd have clan wars, which I participated in, and sometimes I even wiped entire enemy clans by myself. Those moments gave me confidence and made me realize that maybe I was actually getting good. As I kept getting more involved in competitive, I started meeting even more people. And around that time, I already had my YouTube channel with thousands of subscribers. People recognized me sometimes, which felt weird at first, but later became normal. Then came a day that I remember clearly. I was in duels, just practicing, nothing special. Someone named TutuJuj123 asked me for a duel. Usually I don't accept duel requests from random players, but for some reason, that time, I accepted. And I got absolutely destroyed. Completely wiped, I stood there confused. But we talked after the match, and that conversation changed everything. He knew me from YouTube, and he ended up becoming my teacher. He taught me so much about movement, combos, spacing, timing, and especially the competitive mentality. I am still grateful for everything he taught me. His name was too long, so I called him TutX. And that's when he introduced me to something I had never touched before. The South American competitive scene. I had never fought serious South American players. I had no contact with Brazilians or SA players at all. I didn't even know there was an entire competitive community existing outside the servers I played in, and this is where the turning point of my journey starts. At this time, TutX was blacklisted from a clan called Ryushin. That clan would become one of the most important things in my entire journey. It was the root of the South American competitive scene. So me and TutX became a duo. People in Ryushin knew us. We would join their servers. We would fight them, 1 versus 1 them, have small wars with them. We weren't toxic. We didn't cause problems. And because of that, slowly, we earned their respect. I started becoming friends with some of the Ryushin members, especially the peaceful ones who didn't have beef with anyone through them. I met almost all the top SA and Brazilian players at the time. Seitole, Hayes, Ayato, Faleno, Pekaiju. Back then, none of us were legends yet. We weren't top players at the time. We were all growing together. Nobody was some untouchable god. We were just a group of South Americans learning, grinding, pushing each other higher with every fight. Ryushin wasn't just another clan. It was the origin point of almost every strong South American player. I became top 2 inside Ryushin with only Hayes above me. And honestly, that didn't happen because we were some elite team from the start. It was because we fought every single day, and those fights forced us to evolve, all of us. We had wars all the time, trainings, 1 versus 1 sessions, tournaments, people joining, leaving, returning. Ryushin became so important to everyone that it got revived 4 separate times. And where there's a clan like Ryushin, there's always a nemesis. Their rival was a clan named Deus, God, in Portuguese or Spanish. Before Ryushin existed, its owner, Sheena, was from Deus. But she didn't like the people there. She said they were sweaty, toxic, egotistical. So she left and created Ryushin as a more friendly version. Funny enough, Hayes came from Deus too. Sometimes we'd find Deus players in public servers and huge fights would break out instantly. Deus players were crazy strong, and to make it harder, they had way better ping because they were closer to Miami servers. Fighting them was never easy. As I started improving, I got closer to Deus members too, including the owner. He got impressed and eventually invited me to join. All this time, I was still talking about Tutex being blacklisted, trying to convince people to unblacklist him. After hundreds of wars and equal amounts of beef, drama, and rivalry, I ended up joining Deus, mostly because Ryushin started to cool off. And since I was a competitive player, Deus seemed like a better fit. But I stayed friends with Ryushin players. At this point in my journey, I was already a top South American player. If you look at my old channel, you'll find videos where I had Deus, or Ryushin, in my Roblox name. Clans kept dying, and new ones kept rising. After Ryushin died, Deus stayed alive for a while. After Deus died, Seitole created his own clan. Everyone joined, but his ownership wasn't the best, so the clan died quickly too. So instead of clans, the South Americans started creating hubs instead, like the TSB LATAM server with thousands of members, Brazilian hubs where all clans and top players talked, places where everyone hung out, trained, and fought. The community felt close, friendly, connected, but slowly people started leaving. First one friend quit, then another, until almost everyone who wasn't competitive disappeared. 95% of them left. The South American competitive scene began to cool off. We didn't want TSB to die, so we started expanding to the overall competitive scene, fighting players from all regions, not just South America. That's when we revived Ryushin again, but this time with a different purpose. Not just top 1 South America, but top 1 North America. We challenged North American clans. One of them was XYZ, top 2 North American behind Valhalla. The first time we fought them, they were destroying us. We were losing 4-1. But we came back and won 5-4. All of us had over 150 ping. I still have an edit of me wiping their lineup, made by someone in the TSB community. We kept meeting North American players more often. Sometimes we'd run into top players like Boomy, Lee, and Sky. At that time, Sky was top 5 NA. He knew Saitole, they fought often, and Sky even lost fights to him in his own region. And while all of this happened, there were exposed situations, beefs, rivalries, dramas, including my beef with Boomy. But none of these things actually mattered to my journey. They were just noise around the experience. Through wins, losses, clans, rivalries, mentorships, communities dying and being reborn, I went from a noob who was impressed by animations to someone who fought and learned from the best players in multiple regions. And now here's the part that brings everything full circle. After all these years of grinding, improving, fighting the best players on 2 continents, I introduced TSB to my fiancée, and watching her play feels like watching my past happening again in front of me. She gets impressed with the combos the same way I did years ago. She tries to copy the moves, even when she doesn't fully understand them yet. She laughs when she hits something clean. It's like the whole cycle is repeating itself, but this time, there's one huge difference. She's not learning alone. She has a top player from a whole continent teaching her from her first kill to her last. I know how her brain reacts to the game. Even a simple M1 gives her this huge rush of dopamine, so I'm taking it slow. I want her to enjoy the game without pressure yesterday. I taught her Black Flash. She managed to Black Flash me 3 times in a row with an average of 4 Black Flashes. And she's already killing players with 6,000 kills while she only has 100. Watching her improve reminds me why I fell in love with the game in the first place. And that is my full journey in the strongest battlegrounds, from staring at animations, to fighting the best players of 2 regions, to teaching the person I love how to experience the same path I went through. The story began with me alone, but now it continues with both of us.